Okay, guys, today we have an incredible, very special guest in store for you guys. And today is his 50th birthday, Shane Sterling. He is a raw vegan. He's going to tell us all his secrets. He literally looks 30. So I felt very called to do this video to share all of his secrets, find out how you guys can get this anti-aging factor going on. And let's get right into it. Hey, Shane, how's it going?
Hi, Gillian. I'm so glad to be here. Hello to you and hello to your audience. I'm so happy to talk about this and my journey with everyone.
Yeah, and I just want to say, not only do you not look 50, you act so much younger. Like you have like such a young vibe. Not that 50's old. Like, I mean, I'm 40 and I'm close to 50 also. Not that it's old and like I'm knocking any 50-year-olds, but you just seem like such a young vibe. So why is this? What is going on? Because it really stands out to me compared to like a lot of other people. Like you look really young. What are your secrets? Fill this in. I'd love to hear.
There's a couple factors that I think really play a big part. And, I'm just a human being here. So I try to kind of figure it out as well, because I see other people my age aging much quicker, looking like they're from a different generation. I'm like, well, what's going on? What do I have? Okay, here's what I think. For one, I think that it's really like 5D consciousness, new consciousness. Look, I'm not going to lie. This might sound a little new age, but let me just tell you, I think it's like not participating with the density of 3D reality. I'm a little bit on a different plane. I mean, look, I'm raw vegan. I have been for many years. I've been vegan and plant-based most of my life. I'm a really spiritual person, and I've just had some big awakening experiences in my life that have led me to not take life so seriously or literally. I see a lot of
Mm.
people, my peers, people in my age group, friends, stress about life, stress about life as if they're in a lifeboat in the middle of the ocean all by themselves and they have no hope and no direction and they don't know what their fate is. That's not me. I don't have any question about what my fate is. I know who I am. I know where I come from. I know where I belong. I know what my purpose is on the earth. I know what my mission is. I completely, impeccably trust in my purpose here and my life here. I know I'm always taken care of. And at the core of that message is I don't stress on a fundamental level. Look, I have stress like everybody else. I got to pay the bills. I have logistics in my life. But at the very core of my being, I know I'm divinely guided. Everything will work out for me. The universe is smiling upon me. And so I can just surrender and let fate direct me to a degree with intention, with integrity, and with action. I'm a disciplined, motivated person. So I'm in action, and then I let life kind of intervene and direct me. Now, since I've been raw vegan, I will say this. I've always been a little bit psychic my whole life. Even as a kid, I would tell my mom that I was having like psychic impressions about people. Mostly, I would say I had this vibe, I could feel this person's thoughts and stuff. And I remember that as a kid. But as I've gotten older, well, for one, as I got older, it kind of dissipated and went away until I went raw vegan. And in the last 5 years, raw vegan, I would say it's come back stronger than ever to where I have really strong psychic feelings and
Wow.
impressions. Like I can feel when, like the other day, I said to my girlfriend, "Oh, there's a package being delivered," and at that second, there's a knock on the door and the package was delivered. Just silly things like that, where it's like I can feel things happening, and so that helps me understand there's a bigger picture to life. Okay. This is why I'm raw vegan too, because I know the bigger picture to life means we're all connected. We can't take this thing literally. This is just a holographic projection of our own inner experience. That's how I see it and think about it and describe it. I believe there's nothing happening outside of me. It's all inside of me. It's all a projection. So anything I think that's happening to me is actually happening from within me. And if I want to change what's happening to me, I change my internal experience, my story or my belief around it, and therefore it changes the outer. Therefore, I'm safe on a fundamental level. Therefore, no stress. Therefore, no gray hair and no wrinkles.
Yeah, no gray hair at all,
In
right?
Yeah, no gray hair at all. None at 50. I do in my beard. So if I grow my beard out, I got a little salt and pepper beard going, but none in the hair.
Wow.
And my skin looks good. But that's due to my diet and lifestyle. People say, because I'm on social media, I have my YouTube channel, my Instagram, Raw Vegan Rising. So I get comments all the time that it's genetics, that it has nothing to do with diet, it's genetic. But look, my dad is 80. He's 30 years older than me. He just had double bypass surgery, heart disease, completely gray, looks like a normal old man who's going to
Mhm.
die soon at 80. I'm not going to die in 30 years, you know. Also, my mom doesn't look very good. She's tried to be healthy and she's had some health kicks over her life, but it's not genetics.
Mhm.
Guaranteed. And my sister, who's younger than me, looks older than me. So
Yeah.
in no way is it genetics. I've been living a plant-based diet. I've been juicing since I was a teenager. And the proof is there for all to see. I just say those who eat raw food, those who juice regularly have a brightness in their eyes and a clarity in their skin and a purpose and direction in their life that just emanates from them. And it's consistent. We can see it,
Mhm.
you know, which is partly why I was drawn to this lifestyle when I was a kid, because I would look at like Jack LaLanne and you know, all the old school juicers, you know, and I would say,
Yeah.
I want to look like that. Those
Yeah.
old school juicers had a vibrancy and a step, you know, pep in their step that was very compelling. And so I was like, I'm juicing, and here I am at
Yeah.
50. I really do not like animal products. I have been a real big, you know, vegan, strict vegan many years of my life, almost 20 years, and raw, of course, which is like even another level of that. But even when I've been more relaxed about my plant-based diet and allowed myself to have animal products, I've never liked them. I don't like
Mhm.
them. I don't get a good vibe from them. My psychic intuition tells me, no, don't go there. Don't eat them. We're connected and we're one. The nutrients don't come from there anyway. So it's a bad consciousness choice. It's a bad choice for my sense of well-being and belonging. So I believe that a plant-based diet is essential to look good and feel good well into old age. It's essential on a consciousness level, like I'm talking about, like a sense of safety, belonging. We're
Mhm.
not in survival. I'm not freaked out about, you know, what's going to happen to me, where the bills are going to, how the bills are going to get paid and stuff. I trust. You don't get that on an omnivore diet, a regular diet. You got to be in a higher vibrational state to have that.
Mhm. True. Good point. And you even get ID'd sometimes, right? You said? It's crazy.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. You know, I mean, it depends on my mood. You know, sometimes I look like an old guy, I'm sure, you know, walking through the grocery store.
No.
But, you know, I don't buy alcohol. I mean, geez, I haven't bought alcohol in a long time. So I don't really know. I've become so sensitive to alcohol that if I have it, it feels like poison now. It takes, if I have like one
Me
cocktail,
too.
if I have a cocktail at home with like fresh juice that I make and I try to enjoy it, I'm sick for like a week. It takes me like a
Yeah.
week to recover from one drink. So I just tend to stay away from it.
Me too. I had like one glass of wine this year and it took me like a week to feel back to normal and feel good. I was like, why the heck did I do that?
Yeah.
So
So that's a testimony.
why do you think that some raw vegans or what do you think some raw vegans age a lot? And what do you think ages people the most, whether it be like certain raw foods or certain animal products or other foods? Like, what do you think ages people the most? And why do some people age so fast?
Simple, simple. What ages people is acids. Acids. That's it. Acids. There's two sides to chemistry in the entire universe, acid or alkaline. Actually, when I was about 28 years old, I was working in Los Angeles, and this really cool artist guy who would come into my photo shop. I used to work in a photo lab in LA in the 90s, and we would process prints and make prints and film for people. And this talented guy, really talented artist, photographer would come in, and I kind of looked up to him. And
Hmm.
one day I was in the parking lot, maybe on my lunch break, and he walked up to me and like tossed me this book and said, "Here." He literally tossed it to me, and it was called Alkaline or Die, or Alkalize and Die. And that book was about acid alkaline foods. I'd
Hmm.
never really been aware of the concept prior to that point. Been vegan many years on an alkaline diet. But that book really was the first time I had a really clear understanding of acid versus alkaline. And, you know, if you focus on acid forming foods, you're going to die sooner. That's just the bottom line. There's no question that acids age us. So it's not sugar, it's not glycation, it's not all these things that people think. If we eat alkaline foods, it will retain youthfulness. Alkaline is how the cells regenerate. Acids destroy the cells. It's just that simple. Stress is acidic. Cortisol is acidic. You know, negative habits, toxins in the body is acidic.
Hmm.
Environmental toxins, you know, lifestyle toxins. Obesity and weight gain is toxic. Being active, being physically fit, breathing deeply, you know, doing exercise, that alkalizes the body. Oxygenating the body is alkalizing the body. Phytochemicals, phytonutrients, alkaloids in the raw foods, flavonoids in the raw foods, all alkalize the body. Not to mention there's a metabolic residue from every single food: meat, dairy, eggs, grains, alcohol, sugar, oil, all metabolized acidic, leaving an acid residue, ash, after they're metabolized, where raw foods and plant-based foods, most of them metabolize alkaline, leaving an alkaline ash residue in the body afterwards. That is the method I've been following for the last 20 some years now, since I read that book, and unconsciously before that. So literally for 33 years of my life, I've been alkaline focused. And that is the bottom line. And the other point you asked about why some raw vegans look like they age quicker is also really, really simple. Most people coming to a raw vegan diet are sick. Most people, okay, 90% of the people you are going to see online, see on YouTube, are coming to a raw vegan diet because they have chronic illness they are trying to heal. They might be in the early stages of healing. Even 2 years into a raw vegan diet is still early stage and will not be a complete detoxification transformation of the body if you're chronically ill in just 2 years. So we're seeing people, maybe you've been raw vegan for 2 years, who are still dealing with chronic illness. What is chronic illness? Chronic illness is acids in the body, being in an acid state. Acids lead to chronic degenerative conditions, lead to joint pain, lead into inflammation, lead to autoimmune. All of the modern diagnoses are due to acids. So that's the bottom line. So we're looking at sick people saying they are healthy because they're eating a raw vegan diet, when in reality, we're looking at sick people. Also, people who have been, say, raw vegan long-term, more than 10 years, who are no longer dealing with chronic illness, who are doing well. Most of them look great. And I could name a few. I don't know if that's necessary, but the raw vegans who I follow, who I find interesting, and their information on social media that I actually personally follow myself, they all look fantastic. They all look 20 years younger than their age, because I'm not following chronically ill people. I'm following the people who have overcome that, who've been raw vegan 40 years, or more. Like, look at Lou Corona, look at Gabriel Cousins, look at, there's many examples. I mean,
even Nate and
Larkin.
Lissa, they look great. Lissa's been doing it over 10 years. Like, there's so many of them.
Yeah, there's so many people who have gotten past the chronic illness stage. So we can't look at someone who's trying to heal chronic illness. This is why people get confused about the misinformation and the conflicting information, because they're taking advice from people who are giving advice. The trick is not to just take advice from people giving advice. The trick is to take advice from people who have the exact results you want, and not just in health, not just in youthfulness or vitality, but in relationships, in money, in every aspect of their life. Because if you take advice from someone, you're going to get those results, including their money, their relationships, their health, their sicknesses, their mental problems, their poor mindset or good mindset. So when we take advice from people, and this is what I practice personally and have all of my life, I do not take advice, absolutely do not, from anyone who doesn't have the exact results I want in life, in all aspects of life. And that is a tenet I live by.
I love that. I think that's a great point. And I'm just wondering, okay, I need to know, everybody will wonder, what do you eat in a day to look this good? Like, what do you currently eat in a day?
All raw food. I focus on probably 20% of my calories from fats, maybe 25 some days. So if I'm going to track my calories and macros for a day, I'm going to end up focusing on tracking fats, because I eat a lot of fruit, okay, and I eat nuts and seeds and salads. So I don't focus on protein, and I don't focus on carbohydrates. I focus on fats. I don't want to overeat fats as a raw vegan. I'm not looking to just, eat a bunch of nuts and seeds. I'm looking to be thoughtful and conscious about my fat intake, and I focus on protein-rich, omega-3 rich sources of fats like flax seeds, chia seeds, hemp seeds, walnuts and pecans, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds. Those are my main ones that I focus on. And when I focus on getting 20 to 25% of my calories from fats, automatically my carbohydrates and my fruit and non-sweet fruit intake kind of falls into the 65% range, and 15%, maybe 10 to 15% falls into the protein range. I'm a pretty muscular guy, 6'2", 200 pounds.
Okay, I have to ask you this. Sorry to interrupt. Finish off. Sorry, go ahead. And then there's something I have to ask you.
I don't eat protein. I don't eat protein. I don't focus on protein. I don't think about it. I don't look for it. If I think about protein, I'm thinking more about the fat I'm getting in a protein-rich source of fat like hemp seeds or something. But I really don't focus on protein. I focus on nutrient density. I focus on delicious salads. I like to make big salads every night, and sometimes those salads are very robust, filled with nuts and seeds, fruits and non-sweet fruits, lots of greens, lots of sprouts, and those salads are big. It sometimes takes me like a half hour to eat them, but that's where I get my protein, you know?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm having smoothies, I'm having fruit, I'm having, you know, different superfoods in my smoothies. That's a big thing, nutrient density with superfoods. I put superfoods in my smoothies every single day. I use mushrooms, ashwagandha root, maca root. I use cacao. I use, you know, blends of different things. I try different powders, you know, blended up barley grass juice powder or green powders. But it's nutrient density I'm looking for. High concentration of minerals and phytochemicals.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So
What were you gonna say?
somebody sent me a DM the other day. I know you're like, you'll let me ask you anything, but if you don't want to answer this, whatever, I'll cut it out, whatever. So somebody told me you're on steroids. Somebody said that's why Shane has these muscles. He's on steroids. So do you want to answer this question? What do you say about that?
It's a huge compliment. It's a huge compliment. I think I get it all the time too on my social media. I think people have no idea what it takes to actually work out or to build strength in the gym. I lift weights. I lift weights consistently 6 days a week.
Wow.
I focus on strength training and progressive overload, which means every time I go into the gym, I focus on getting stronger. How do you get stronger in the gym? Well, you make sure you put a little more weight on the bar every time you go in, or you do a few more reps. And the only way you can do that as a raw vegan is to eat food. Food is anabolic. You know, steroids are anabolic. It helps the muscles grow. Food is anabolic, people. So if we eat food, if we're in an excess of calories, especially like even a slight calorie surplus by 100 calories or 200 calories, we will be anabolic, which means when we go into the gym and we stimulate muscle, it will grow because we're in an anabolic state.
Yeah.
If we're in a catabolic state, which is the opposite, which is in a calorie deficit, say we're not eating enough, or say we're just eating at maintenance, just enough calories to maintain our body weight, we will not be anabolic. We will be catabolic most of the time, which just means our body is consuming itself, which is why we don't grow muscle. Now, I see so many guys in the gym, young and old alike, who are in there straining away every day in the gym, and they don't look good. They don't look muscular. Why is that? Because they don't understand the basic principle of how to get stronger, progressively overload the muscle, and how to eat. It really comes down to 80% food. So it's a compliment that people think I take steroids because I have probably reached my genetic potential or close to it.
Yeah.
A steroid type body will look past the genetic potential. So unfortunately, the real truth is that if you look big on film or on the camera, you're probably taking steroids to, maybe you're a fitness model, maybe you're a fitness influencer, maybe you're just a bro at the gym who wants to look bigger. If you look impressive on camera, most likely you're on performance enhancing drugs of some sort. Natural genetic potential looks pretty normal and it looks pretty fit. Here I am. I'm at like genetic potential for being 50 years old, about 200 pounds. The calculators, when I calculate my body mass index and my energy expenditure, the calculators generally tell me my genetic potential for my age would be about 213 pounds at about 10% body fat. So I'm not far off from that at 200 pounds. But I could still, have a little more muscle mass on my body at full genetic potential, but it's still not going to look like these fitness influencers we see online who actually are taking steroids, who look big. So I know it can be confusing, but look, all we need to do is eat food to be anabolic. Anabolic is what we're looking for, not hormone replacement, not steroids. I'm a man. I'm 50. I've contemplated testosterone replacement therapy before in my life. Let's be honest. What man hasn't considered it? But I just think absolutely not. what would be the point? I'd probably mess up my hormones for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I'd probably be dependent on injections the rest of my life. How much money do I have to spend for that? You know, and what would I gain from that? Just to have a little bit more development, to get a little bit past my genetic potential. At 50 years old, I'm interested in optimal health, to take myself into my second half of life, to be healthy well into old age, and to
Yeah.
achieve that is not going to include hormones
That's
or
good.
any kind of drugs whatsoever.
And it's not natural. It's just total opposite of everything you do, right? Pretty much. And
It would
I,
be
as a
completely
woman,
opposite.
I never even think about steroids. The only reason I got on my radar was because I couldn't help but check out all the Liver King drama. And
Oh yeah.
then that guy DM'd me saying about Shane, he's on steroids. And then I thought, well, yeah, I can't believe I've never asked you that before. But it's because it's never on my radar. And I just assumed like you got
Well,
this from the gym, right?
somebody on Instagram just said that I'm the raw vegan liver king, lying to people.
No. Oh my gosh. What do you think about what do you think about Liver King's diet?
Well, people have been tagging me with Liver King for, I don't know, the last year and a half, probably on TikTok, social media, on Instagram. And every time I just respond politely that Liver King is on steroids. And I've been responding that way for the last year and a half. It's obvious he's far past genetic potential. Anyone who lifts weights knows it. And you know, if you work out like I do 6 days a week in the gym, strength training, understanding the anabolic qualities of food, then you know that Liver King's physique is not possible naturally. So for him to come on and say that it's based on his diet is obviously a lie. And so I've been calling that out for the last year and a half. People are gullible though, and you know, the young kids want to believe that a meat-based diet will build muscle, but it's absolutely
Mhm.
not true. Now, what is the consequence of a meat-based diet or a carnivore style diet, even if it's raw, even if it's like you know, just meat and fruit? What is the consequence of a diet like that? The consequence is, students, anybody know? The
So
consequence
many
is
consequences.
acid.
Yeah.
Acid, uric acid buildup in the body. Acid is the enemy of health and of anti-aging. So we're going to see people like the Liver King and every other carnivore age prematurely over time. They might look good in their 30s or at 40, but as they get into 50 and 60, we're going to see the results of that uric acid buildup in their body. There's no way to fake that.
True.
However, there is a threshold in our lives when we're younger. I think under like 40 and under, we can pretty much get away with anything. But 40 and over, and I think even 50 and 60 and over, you can't get away with anything. And you have to be extremely impeccable with your diet and your lifestyle to have the results, and the results speak for themselves. So instead
Yeah.
of looking at 40-year-olds and under for fitness advice and skincare advice and diet advice, we need to look to people who are really 50 and over for the right advice on diet, skincare, anti-aging, and lifestyle, because everybody's going to look pretty decent under 40.
True.
Yeah. And this is
True.
why I do not take advice from people who do not have the exact results that I want. So
Yeah.
that means for me, I'm not going to listen to people who are under 50 because I'm 50. So I can't listen to them because that's not going to get me the results I want.
Yeah.
Me listening to a 25-year-old give me skincare advice doesn't make any sense, right? So there is an age threshold. If you're somebody who's 40, don't take advice from somebody who's 30 or 20. And likewise, as you age, stay with people in your own age range who have the exact results you want. Liver King is obviously, I think he was 39 last year when I was getting tagged all the time with him. So for me,
39. That's all he is. I thought he was way older. Isn't
I
he
know,
like
right? Yeah, he looks a lot older.
I think
Yeah, he
he's
does.
46. No? Okay, I gotta look because
Is
I'm
he?
pretty
Okay, I
sure
don't
he's
know.
like
Maybe
I don't
I
know,
thought he
but
was in his late 30s. Let's look.
45. He's 45, it says.
He's 45. Okay, so
Yeah.
he's in his early 40s.
Yeah.
So, you know, obviously people are going to lose the looks as they crest over 50. That's the bottom line. You can see it. I actually have a lot of guys who are 60 and older contact me and say, "Hey, you look good at 50, but wait till you're 60. That's when it really starts to kick in." And I think that there's a truth to that. If we
Yeah.
see the arc of aging I think it's like a slow curve and then it kind of progresses. It's like a slow curve until 50, 60, 70, and then
Yeah.
you age quickly all at once.
I don't
So
know. You just look so good. I can't see you looking like drastically different over the next 10 years, but we'll see. It's exciting. We'll see what
we're
happens, right?
gonna see, right? And
We're
here we
gonna
are, the
see.
experiment of life. I will not go back to eating cooked food, and I absolutely will not eat any animal products at all, period, zero, for the rest of my life.
Good.
So we will see the results.
And don't you notice, Kay, if you've had cheat days and eaten cooked things or other things, don't you notice you see it on your face? Like I've noticed that for me, if I've had a cheat day, like I see it on my face. And sleep, I think, is something that's really important. I barely slept last night. My daughter woke me up every 2 hours. But don't you feel like that's important? Have you prioritized sleep as well, like through the years? Or no?
Yeah, sleep is very important. Actually, it's one of the keys to having good muscle mass, actually, is sleep, because that's when the body actually grows and builds muscle. People think you build muscle in the gym. No, you build it in your bed when you're sleeping. So actually getting good sleep, adequate sleep, and early sleep makes a huge difference in building muscle. I'm a night owl. I love staying up late. And if I stay up late consistently too much, it compromises my physique. I will actually look smaller if I stay up late too many months in a row, and it will compromise my health. So sleep is absolutely critical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you, yeah, go ahead.
And for youthfulness and vitality and just like having a young kind of feel and attitude, I think
Yeah.
sleep is really key.
And it reduces stress and stuff too. And what do you think are maybe the top 3 to 5 most anti-aging foods?
Let's see. High antioxidant foods. So for me, every time I eat blueberries, I feel like I'm reverse aging.
Yeah.
I love blueberries. So blueberries are high in antioxidants, like low glycemic, really low glycemic, and high antioxidants. So blueberries for sure. Also high enzyme foods like I think pineapple, because it helps the digestive system eliminate.
Hmm.
Elimination is so key, because if acids build up in the body, then it's going to affect our tissues. It's going to come out in our skin. We're going to see it in our skin.
Hmm.
So having good elimination is key. And pineapple is high in bromelain, which breaks down waste. It's a proteolytic enzyme. So for me, I look for that. I look for high enzyme foods like pineapple. So
Hmm.
blueberries, pineapple, greens, like really having a good, consistent intake
Yeah.
of dark leafy greens in your diet is essential. Also, I would say high protein, high omega-3 fats like
Hmm.
flax, chia, or hemp seeds. You pick. I like hemp seeds. I personally have flax and hemp seeds every day. So,
Okay. And that's important for our brain as we age too.
yeah, yeah. So those are really important. It's really important to have good fats for your skin and your hair and your nails. So we can't do low fat, and low fat raw vegan is not sustainable or desirable in any way. People who are sick, chronically ill, trying to detox, talk about low fat raw vegan as like some holy grail, which is fine for detoxing and healing, but
Yeah.
it's not sustainable long term, or being anabolic.
Yeah.
So, but in general, if I could sum up one anti-aging food, it would be fruit. It
Yeah.
would be high sugar, high sugar.
I
Yep,
agree.
fruit, including dates, highest sugar intake food, watermelon. There's a reason for that. Hydration,
Hydration.
alkalinity, and enzyme and bowel transit time. Foods that move through the bowels quickly will be anti-aging. Foods that are slow moving through the bowels, foods without fiber, foods without enzymes, so all cooked foods. Like people are so adamant that beans are healthy,
Hmm.
but beans are going to age you because they are acidic, for one, and they don't have enzymes in them. They're going to sit in the digestive system for days. And as a raw vegan, you can feel that. Any food that sits in the digestive system for days or even too many hours will be contributing to health problems and premature aging. So fruit gives us the quickest bowel transit time. Therefore, it's the most anti-aging.
Yeah. And if this diet was aging you a lot, would you still do it?
Yes,
Yeah.
I would.
Wow.
I
Look at
would.
you. That's great.
Yeah, I would absolutely, without question. For one, people think that fruit is high in sugar, and let's just be honest, sugar is just a carbohydrate. It's one of the three macronutrients. If we agree that we should not be eating processed food, then sugar, whole food sugar in fruit is just a carbohydrate. And it's a simple carbohydrate, which means it requires no insulin to be processed for energy. Unlike starches, which create insulin to be processed for energy, starch is not a good carbohydrate source. It takes a lot of energy, it takes insulin, makes the body work hard, sits in the bowels for days. Fruit, simple carbohydrates, and it's instantly metabolized for energy and out the other side quickly. Come on, that's the bottom line. That, you know, fructose is highly important for our brain. People think fructose is bad, causes fatty liver, and get so concerned. No, we're talking about unrefined fructose in fruits. It's essential. It's actually the brain's preferred sugar, and the body will manufacture fructose if there's not any available. So even the keto people who are anti-carbohydrate, their body is producing fructose to fuel the brain, even though they don't want to believe that.
Well, yeah. Okay. This has been amazing. I've loved this talk about anti-aging, and it went along. I dragged it on a little bit longer than I wanted. I wanted to make it short, but there's just so many things I wanted to ask you. So I really think it's been great beginning to end. And I just want to ask if there's anything you feel called to end off with, anything we missed or anything you want to say further on anti-aging or anything, then definitely do so and let everybody know where they can find you. Everybody go follow Shane for more on this topic and amazing raw vegan and juicing content, and go join his group as well. I will link it all below.
Thank you, Gillian. Thanks so much for having me on. It's my pleasure to talk to your audience about these important topics. We do have a lot of conflicting information in today's world. That's why information is cheap. We're not looking for information because information is free and it's cheap, and it's like cheap as talk, you know? What we're looking for is mentorship. Like I said, don't take advice from anyone that doesn't have the exact results you want. And that includes all areas of life. So what I recommend to get the results we want isn't to listen to advice, but to rather seek mentorship and guidance. That's why I started my group coaching program, Raw Vegan Heroes, because it's an accountability group. It's a community, it's a family where we can all kind of come together and support each other around like-minded ideals, like-minded mentality, and feel like we are part of a growing community, a growing movement, a growing consciousness. And that is more supportive than information. So I would highly recommend seeking accountability rather than just information. Now, my group coaching program is available on my website, rawveganrising.com. I am Raw Vegan Rising on all social media channels. My Instagram's really fun. I've kind of gone viral on Instagram in the last few months. I think I've gotten like 20,000 followers on Instagram in the last couple
that's
months.
a lot. That's amazing.
It is a lot. Yeah, I've hit some viral reels and it's really been fun and very active over there. So you can follow my meals. I post in my stories my meals. I don't post meal or recipe videos on YouTube or anywhere else, but I do share them in my reels. So if you're interested in how I eat, following my Instagram and watching my reels will ensure you see all the food that I ever post, because that's where I post it. And also my Facebook page, Raw Vegan Rising, as well.
Yeah. Amazing. Okay. Thanks, Shane. And I just want to say too, we did touch on it, but juicing is very anti-aging, and we just did a great video on juicing. So I will link that down below right now. If you guys want to check it out, it'll show up on the screen right now. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up right now and make sure to subscribe if you don't already. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.